Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Well, college basketball has officially started. The first four is over, which I just watched Virginia absolutely lay an egg against Furman, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about what would happen if I flipped a coin and a coin decided the fate of March Madness. I didn't have a quarter. All I had was a nickel, but let's get into it. So the rules are simple. Heads is higher seed, tails is lower seed. And what I mean by that is it's like a golf score. Low score wins. So if there's like an 8 versus 9, the higher seed is an 8. So it would be heads, if that makes sense. Heads, right side, tails, left side. Here we go. Heads, right side, tails, left side. Heads. So we're going to go on the right side. All right. Heads for top, tails for bottom. Heads. All right. Here we go. Let's start. All right. Houston and Northern Kentucky. Already. All right. Northern Kentucky won. And then out of Iowa and Auburn, Auburn won. It was tails. All right. Miami and Drake. Oh, Drake won. Come on, man. Tails again out of Indiana and Kent State. Kent State moves on. What the frick is this? Heads out of Iowa State and Pitt. It was heads, so Iowa State is moving on. Xavier and Kennesaw. Tails, so Kennesaw moves on. All right, Texas A&M and Penn State. Oh shit. Heads. Okay, Texas A&M moves on. Texas versus Colgate. Tails. Colgate moves on. The Norse against Auburn. Heads or tails? Heads. So Auburn moves on. Drake versus Kent State. Heads. Oh, Drake moves on. Okay. All right. So Iowa State versus Kennesaw. Heads. Iowa State moves on. Okay. Texas A&M against Colgate. Ow, where's that going? Out of bounds. Here we go. It was a heads. All right, in the Sweet 16, Auburn against Drake. It is heads. Auburn moves on to the Elite Eight. Iowa State versus Texas A&M. It is heads. So Iowa State moves on. Auburn versus Iowa State. It is heads. So Auburn moves to the Final Four. Now we're moving to the bottom part of the bracket. Kansas against Howard. Come on. It's tails. Howard moves on. All right. Arkansas against Illinois. It's heads. All right. So Arkansas moves on. St. Mary's versus VCU. It's heads. So St. Mary's moves on. UConn versus Iona. It is tails, so Iona moves on. All right, TCU against Arizona State. It is heads, so TCU moves on. Gonzaga versus Grand Canyon. Yep, see you later, Gonzaga. Oh, yep, it's tails. Northwestern against Boise State. I think this is going to be heads. Ah, it's tails. All right, so Boise State moves on. All right, UCLA and UNC Asheville. Can a 2 seed actually get out of the first round? Yep, they can. All right, heads. So UCLA moves on. Howard against Arkansas. It is tails. Howard's still rolling. Okay. St. Mary's against Iona. It is heads. So St. Mary's moves on. TCU against Grand Canyon. It's heads, so TCU moves on. The Broncos against the Bruins. Here we go. It is tails, so Boise State eliminates UCLA. Sweet 16, the Bison against St. Mary's. It's a heads. St. Mary's moves on. The Cinderella run is over. TCU against Boise State. It is tails, so Boise State wins as the lower seed. St. Mary's against Boise State. St. Mary's is head. Boise State is tails. Ooh, it is tails. Boise State is moving on to the Final Four. Heads, we start at the top. Tails, we start at the bottom. Let's see what side we do first. heads. So we will do the South region first. All right. Alabama versus the Islanders. Here we go. It's heads. Okay, Alabama moves on. Okay, Maryland versus West Virginia. It's heads. So Maryland moves on. San Diego State versus Charleston. It is tails. Charleston moves on. Okay. Furman versus Virginia. It's tails. Furman moves on. Creighton versus NC State. It's tails. NC State moves on. Okay, Baylor versus UCSB. Get over here. It's heads. So Baylor moves on. Come on, flip the coin. Flip the. It is heads. Missouri moves on. All right, Arizona versus Princeton. It's heads. Arizona moves on. Darn. Alabama versus Maryland. It's heads. Charleston versus Furman. Ooh, it's heads. And it was heads. So Charleston's moving on. NC State against Baylor. And I lost my freaking coin. Hold on. It's a heads. So, it's a heads. So Baylor moves on. Missouri versus Arizona. Whoa. I lost it. Hold on. Where'd it go? Hold on. Let it fall. Let it fall. Oh, it's a heads. All right. Alabama versus Charleston. It's a tails. Charleston moves on. Baylor versus Arizona. It's heads. So Arizona moves on. Arizona is heads. Charleston is tails based on seeding. Here we go. And it is heads. So Arizona moves on to the Final Four. Okay. Purdue versus FDU. Tails. FDU is moving on. Memphis versus FAU. It's heads. So Memphis is moving on. Duke against Oral Roberts. It is heads. So Duke moves on. Tennessee versus Louisiana. It is. Okay, that one didn't look convincing. It was a tails. Let's reflip. It's tails again. All right. Louisiana is moving on. Kentucky against Providence. Tails. All right. Providence moving on. All right. Kansas against Montana State. Oh, get that back here. Tails. Montana State is moving on. All right. Michigan State versus USC. Come on. It is tails. USC is moving on. All right. Marquette versus Vermont. Let me reflip that one. It is heads, so Marquette is moving on. At least there's some parity in this. All right. FDU against Memphis. Memphis is the higher seed, so they would be heads. Oh, it's tails. FDU is moving on. All right. Duke against the Ragin' Cajun. It is heads. Duke moves on. All right. Providence against Montana State. It is heads. Providence moves on. USC against Marquette. It is tails, so USC moves on. All right, FDU against Duke. It is heads. Oh, so Duke and then Providence out of Providence and USC. It is heads. USC moves on. USC is tails. Duke is heads. It is heads. Duke moves on to the Final Four. Duke against Arizona. Arizona is the higher seed, so they are heads. Duke is tails. Wait, let me flip that one again. It is heads. Arizona is going to the final. Auburn and Boise State. Auburn is the higher seed, so they are heads. Boise State is tails. It is heads. So Auburn and Arizona will play for the national championship. Arizona is the 2 seed, so they are the heads. Auburn is tails. Here's the coin flip. Oh, come on now. There we go. That was a terrible flip. Here we go. That was a terrible flip too. Come on. That was so bad. Let me do that again. Come on. Come on. No. It's just a foot. There we go. I lost it. Oh. Tails! Auburn has won March Madness. Here's proof. Look at that! Look at that! Anyways, thanks for watching. Deuces.